We had Drake against Kendrick. Guys, Stephen A against LeBron. I think we have a new heavyweight title match. This has taken a very interesting twist because look, I thought it was over where LeBron he squared up to him, Stephen A did his thing, boom, boom, boom. But I think everything went crazy when LeBron appeared on Pat McAfee's show. And this is strategic. This is strategic. There's a reason why he picked this show in particular. ESPN and the show that comes after Stephen A. Smith's First Take show. There's a reason why he picked this. So it's like, it wasn't like, oh, let me just pick no. I went to do a full unfiltered interview under the same company. In the same company. I believe in the same building even. So look, this has gotten interesting. No, okay, so interesting, that's so easy word. This has gotten personal. Because I have never heard Stephen A. Smith come out and say, I don't like this guy. I've never heard him say that. And I've never seen LeBron talk about Stephen A. Smith the way that he has. It's always been bubbling. We've always assumed, but for them to enunciate it the way they have and just illustrate it so succinctly, as in, I don't like the dude. This guy is desperate for clicks. And this guy cannot wait to talk about me. It's very clear that they do not like one another, and they've come out and illustrated and said, and it's come out of their mouths, they don't like one another. This might have reached a point of no return because Stephen A. Smith is coming out swinging now. He's coming out swinging, and even he was just because he went crazy on First Take, and I think he just on the First Take he just got carried away. We're like, okay, I'm just going to go full on. Now, I want to just clarify something because we live in the internet and people love to take things out of context for clicks and for views and for shock value. If you just take this out of context, I would have immediately swung on him if he swung on me. Guys are like, oh, and now the narrative is, oh, Stephen A. Smith thinks he can beat LeBron, blah, blah. And there's now a video going viral about Stephen A. Smith doing some boxing training. And guys saying, like, that dude can last a millisecond against LeBron. But if you watch the video, which I did, Stephen A. Smith said, this won't be a Will Smith, Chris Rock scenario. That if, for whatever reason, LeBron had swung at him like Will Smith did to Chris Rock, Stephen A. Smith said, I wouldn't do what Chris Rock did. I would have reacted. There's no way that I'm going to take a slap or a punch or a hit from another man and not respond in kind. That's what he said. And he went on to say that he'd get beaten up. He'd get totally floored. But he will react. So when I give that context, I'm like, yeah, there's nothing. So it's like, if he swung on me, I would have swung on him. Because, now, there's no way in hell LeBron would have swung on him. But he just said, because Stephen A. Smith was like, bro, this guy just came up to me. And I don't know what's going to happen. Same thing with Chris Rock. Chris Rock did not think for a billion years. Did anybody truly believe Will Smith was really going to slap Chris Rock? There is not a single soul who thought Will Smith was going to slap Chris Rock. That's even when it's happened. People thought that, was this a joke? Was this like wrestling? Was it not real? Because it was so out of the ordinary. But it happened. So there is a 1% or 0.1% chance that for whatever reason LeBron may have just came and just smacked Stephen A. Smith. And Stephen A. Smith would have said, if that happened, I wouldn't do a Chris Rock. I would have reacted. So again, use context, but I get it. It's the internet. Nobody wants to use context. So let's get back to the things here. You see, who's right, who's wrong here. I hate the whole notion of like, oh, they're both right. I'm with Stephen A. Smith here. Because now, even though I'm with Stephen A. Smith, I 100% get LeBron's approach. If you say anything about my son, as a responsible father, I am going to react. So for LeBron, he's just being a good father. He's being a good father. So there's nothing that is wrong in what LeBron is doing. The only issue I have with LeBron is, what is Stephen A. Smith supposed to do as a journalist and as a reporter? And what I said in my previous video is, the game's changed. We're not in 1974 or 1984 or 1994. We're in 2024, 2025, where sports analysis has changed. Reporting has changed. Social media is now a big, huge thing. And this is someone's job. And the name of the game is, if this is a story that's garners interest and will gain traction, you must cover it. I used to work in a news company, and my program editor or my editor-in-chief would be like, no, we have to go with this story. This is what everyone is talking about. This is our headline. So you'll have your headline, sub-headline, and then other stories. But that's headline and that sub-headline are the most interesting stories that people want you to talk about. People are interested in. You don't put a headline of a story that no one cares about. You put a headline of what people want to talk about. People want to know about BRONNY James. Every Reddit thread, every Twitter post, every Instagram thread, everybody was like, BRONNY, LeBron, BRONNY. Since Kenny Griffin Jr., we've not had a father and son play in the same team. So BRONNY James was going to get super scrutinized. And I said, before this whole thing came about, I was like, LeBron, are you sure you want to put BRONNY in his firing line? Because you have to understand what sports analysis is like now. Social media and how people are going to attack him and how people are going to just say nepotism, he didn't really deserve it. It's the name of the game. What's it saying? Don't hate the player, hate the game. Stephen A. Smith is just a player in the game. The game is, what is the most interesting topic? We're going to cover it ad nauseum. The name of the game is, what do people want to know about? We're going to discuss that topic. That's the game. And players have to play the game. You either play the game or you leave. Either you play the game or you put down the pad. You either play the game. If you don't want to play the game, put down the pad and step out. Let someone else take the pad. So for LeBron, I'm sorry. What is Stephen A. Smith supposed to do? If his points are trash, he has to report that. And he has to deal with the pink pelican in the room, which is, did he deserve to be picked? Was he picked only because that you were his father? Does he really deserve this position? That's what everybody was talking about. Everybody was saying, BRONNY James, does he deserve to be here? Does he deserve to be here? It's amazing that he's here. It's great that he's here. It's a great novelty. But was he just here based off LeBron? So did LeBron just make him jump over several hoops that you shouldn't really be jumping over? Come on, bro. But see, this is where I may disagree with Stephen A. Smith. Because Stephen A. Smith said that this is deeper. And this is about LeBron's hatred for him and how he's covered him way back when. And for Stephen A. Smith, I say no. That's sort to do with it. But the BRONNY James thing is what has exacerbated the entire scenario. Because yes, there is some truth there. Because I remember this series in 2011. And this was, I think Stephen A. Smith, he was on and off First Take, but he used to have this New York radio show that he used to do. It was him and some other guy. And I used to listen to the show religiously, and especially during this series. And bro, when LeBron lost, Stephen A. Smith went in. And he went in to such a degree, I was like, if LeBron listens to this, he's never going to mess with this guy ever again. because Stephen A. Smith was like, no one, no two, no three. Like, that's based on the hype, everything he had, and he butchered him. Deservedly so. Because LeBron, I wasn't the one that said, not one, not two, not three, not four, not five. You did have Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade. That was a super team. And you were heavy favorites against the Mavericks, and you should have beaten the Mavericks. And you were a huge reason why the Heat did not win that series that they should have won. So Stephen A. Smith was well within his rights, in his own manner, to cook you. And I know that LeBron, hearing that, and the way that Stephen A. Smith does, it would have stung. So yeah, that was lingering. But where I think Stephen A. Smith is wrong is that, oh no, it's really about that and about how much he hates it. Because Stephen A. Smith, this isn't about how you put MJ over him. I think LeBron is fine for people to put Jordan over him. And I think it's fine. No. I think this is really about, he always had these issues with you, specifically about how you cooked him during the finals, but it's got magnified with how you reported on his son. And saying about him being a father and whether a father should be doing this and everything. That is just what really was a huge catalyst. So look, that's where I disagree with Stephen A. Smith. But beyond that, though, I'm like, is Stephen A. Smith wrong? Again, so the theme of this video is, don't hate the player, hate the game. So don't take issue with the player, take issue with the game. The game is the game. Now, maybe the issue is, why is sports analysis like this? Why has it become more about entertainment? Why has it become more about clicks? Why has it become more about these crazy big headlines and these topics pitting one against each other and these debates? Blame yourself. But here's the thing. These debates, they do numbers. They do clicks. You see, if the game wasn't working and the game was wrong, then the ratings would be low. Then First Take would not be the number one sports show in America. Then Stephen A. Smith's channel wouldn't have 1 million subscribers. So if what Stephen A. Smith was doing was wrong, people wouldn't be viewing. But people are viewing. People are interested. And the numbers speak for itself. You see, you can't argue with maths. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. And the numbers say the game is working. So if the game is working, you, the player, play the game. Report on BRONNY James. And say everything that has to be said. And be fully unfiltered. So for me, that's where I'm at with it. Maybe people will disagree here. But the issue is how we discuss sports wrong. Should it not be personal? Should it be mainly about sports and more in that objective sense? Okay, yeah, fine. But things evolve. And for me, society dictates how things change. Society has dictated how the game is. And the game of sports reporting. And Stephen A. Smith, he's literally just adhering to what the streets are saying, to what the people are saying, to what society is saying. So, I mean, if you look at the comments, some would say, oh, Stephen A. Smith, why are you going at BRONNY? Blah, blah, we're going at BRONNY. This doesn't make sense. A lot of people would have been like, yes, I think it's right, bro. Because I'm in those Reddit threads, I'm in those comments, and a lot of people agreed with Stephen A. Smith's angle. So let me not get this crap about how, oh my God, Stephen A. Smith, look, you're just an attention whore. A lot of people, agreed with Stephen A. Smith's take on BRONNY James. So don't switch up now. That's just being fake. So I don't know where this is going to go. I don't know whether they're going to have a fight. If they have a fight, I want to be the referee. Keep everything above the belt. But yeah, man, guys, all I'll say to LeBron is, you are being a good parent. You're being a good father. Stand up for your kid. stand up for your child, and you do you. And always, always be protective of your child. That's what a good father does. So he's being a good father, and I fully respect him for that. But LeBron, the game is the game. The game is the game.